In Will Smith's 2008 hit film, 7 Pounds, his character, Tim Thomas, donates 7 pounds of his own organs to save the lives of 6 different candidates. Tim Thomas is a brave, fictional character who, like many actual people, uses selflessness to save the lives of others. According to an article written in April of 2001 by the online news hour, Dr. Mortisigu, the acting Surgeon General of the United States, called organ donation the ultimate act of human kindness and is a medical problem with a cure. I want to tell you how you can better the world we live in by becoming an organ donor. I have thoroughly researched organ donation and will present to you my knowledge of the problems with the shortage of donors. I will educate you about the facts of organ donation, the misconceptions of donation, and why it's important to be educated, and some ways to become a donor with the many benefits you will receive. First, let's begin with the facts of organ donation. As of April 23, 2009, the waiting list for an organ donation is at 101,827 people, and approximately 300 new transplant candidates are added each month. On average, a name is added to the list every 11 minutes. People on this list typically wait 3 to 5 years for donated organs. According to the New York Organ Donor Network's website, DonateLifeNY.org, each day, 18 people die due to the shortage of organ donors. That's over 100 people a week. In the earliest phases of transplantation, donated organs and tissues came from the victims of cardiac arrest. This means that only people who are no longer breathing, had no pulse, and whose hearts could not be revived could donate. But often, by the time the organs could be removed after cardiac death, they had been without blood supply for too long, and the organs became unusable and wouldn't revive the patient. However, in 1968, death was redefined as occurring when the brain ceases to function, even if the heart and breathing can be sustained using drugs and ventilators. This new definition makes it so that the organs are in much better condition to be donated. More than 19,000 transplants are performed in the United States each year, and the success rates are skyrocketing. According to the Scientific Registry of Transplant Recipients website, UStransplant.org, which was updated this month, 3-year patient success rates are estimated at 95% for kidney transplants, 92% for pancreas, 91% for heart transplants, 90% for liver transplants, 81% for heart-lung transplants, and 76% for lung transplants. So why are there still so many problems with an organ shortage? Many people are not educated enough about organ donation and have misconceptions about what's involved in the transplantation process. A big fear many have about donating their organs is that if they agree to theirs, the emergency room staff won't work as hard on saving their life and instead focus on the patient receiving the organs. This is extremely false, and as the doctor's focus is on saving your life, not the patient receiving the organ. As stated in the April 4th, 2008 article from the Mayo Clinic, the doctor in charge of your care has nothing to do with the transplantation and has the priority of maintaining the donor. Another fear of organ donation is that the donor will not be truly dead before they sign the death certificate and take their organs. This is also false. In fact, people who have agreed to organ donation are given tests to determine that they are truly dead. They are given more tests than those who haven't agreed to organ donation. A major misconception is thinking you are too old or too young to donate. In a legal sense, if a person is under the age of 16, they cannot make the decision, but they can express their opinion to their parents and they can give legal consent. And there have been successful donations from people as old as their 80s, so you shouldn't disqualify yourself prematurely because the doctors will decide whether the organs are viable for use upon death. Stories of a black market list have undergone great damage to the public's appreciation of the need of organ donation. The black market is a myth. It is illegal to buy and sell organs in the United States. The United Network for Organ Sharing, UNOS, maintains the only national patient waiting list and donates organs accordingly. The media is giving organ donation a bad name. They want people to believe in the black market and believe that organs are given out unfairly. Susan Morgan, PhD, who is the Associate Professor of Communication at Purdue University, said, including organs being sold in the black market and people with money receiving higher priority on waiting lists are untrue, and are affecting the number of people who are registering as organ donors. Just being aware of the misunderstandings and myths of donation can better help with your decision to become an organ donor. A shortage of donor organs is a medical problem with a cure, and it all starts with you. Let's take a look at the solutions to this problem. There are several ways to increase the supply of organs. They include persuading more people to agree to be organ donors when they die, putting hospital policies and procedures in place to promote organ donation, obtaining more organs donated from the victims of brain death and cardiac death, and increasing the number of live donors, especially people unrelated to the recipients. Since age is no longer a limit for donation, indicating your willingness to be a donor on your driver's license or in your living will are the most common and easiest ways to become an organ donor. Many donors even carry a signed donor card in their wallet that can be easily obtained through the organ donor's website. You can also express you want to become an organ donor through your next of kin. Families are often asked to consider donations when patients are dying, and many find that it helps through the grieving process, knowing the comfort from being able to have something positive come out of the death of a loved one. To hear stories about donating organs, how donating organs have affected donors and recipients, visit revivehope.com. Another approach is to retrieve organs from those who have suffered from cardiac death and have irreversible loss of brain function. Many don't think this is possible, but technology is amazing, and it is possible to revive an organ that has recently stopped functioning and preserve it for a few hours in order to transplant. Although these transplants only occur for 8% of all donations, they are the most rapidly increasing source of donations. Live donations is another way to save someone's life. It is a scary thought to take a part of your own body and put it in someone else's, but statistics have shown that many who do decide to donate feel a better quality of life, knowing they have given someone else a better chance. Of the 13,372 kidney transplants that were performed in 2000, 5,293 of them were from living donors. Although willingness to donate has risen in recent years, major hurdles still remain. I have enlightened you about what organ donation is, the problems we face with a shortage of donors, the misconceptions many people should be educated on, and several ways to become an organ donor. There are still thousands of people waiting on UNO's list for the call telling them that there is hope. For those receiving organs, these transplants can mean a second chance at life. For some, they can mean being able to see, but for others, it can mean actually being able to live. Through science, compassion, and generosity, you can be that second chance for someone.